Previously in our catechism, we've learned about our first parents, Adam and Eve, and how they ate the forbidden fruit and sinned against God. That brings us to our next question. Question number 18. What is sin? And the answer: sin is doing what God forbids in His law. Sin is a word that simply means breaking God's law. The Bible book of 1 John chapter 3 tells us, "Everyone who makes a practice of sinning also practices lawlessness. Sin is lawlessness." So if sin is breaking God's law, well then, what is God's law? Well, God's law are the rules God commands human beings to obey. There are lots and lots of laws and commands in the Bible, too many to cover in one video. However, Jesus once told us that there are two great commands of God. These two laws are a good summary of all the other of God's laws. Listen to what Jesus said in the New Testament book of Matthew, chapter 22. Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets." The first great command of God is to love God with all your heart. God commands us to treasure Him above everything else in the world. The second great command of God is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. To put it simply, treat other people in the way you would like to be treated. One word sums up all of God's law: love. God commands us to love Him and to love the people He's created. Which means, if sin is breaking God's law, then sin is when we fail to love God most, or fail to love other people as we love ourselves. But so what? Why is sin so bad? What does it matter if we break God's laws? Well, listen to what Psalm 19 tells us about God's law. "The law of the Lord is perfect, reviving the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The rules of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, even much fine gold." The reason sin is so bad is because God's law is so good. Listen to all the words God used to describe His law: perfect, right, pure, true, righteous, and better than gold. God has given us good commands. He's given them to keep us safe and fill us with joy. Think about the rules your parents have for you. They say things like, "Don't play in the middle of the road." Why? Because they love you and really don't want you to get run over by a car. So let's look at our question one last time. Number 18. What is sin? And the answer? Sin is doing what God forbids in His law.